Okay, it's turn 51, and this, boy, this has been a frustrating turn. I had this big stack here, right? And I was patrolling in order to find dryads, and I fell into a... This is one of the things that, this little mechanical interaction I'm about to tell you about has really kind of pissed me off. So, I was patrolling in order to hunt out dryads, Pangea's dryads, who were assassinating my mages. And I did. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 total attacks, of which of course I lost all of them because dryads are the best assassins in the game. So I lost all these guys, those 7 were all killed. That's kind of like the price that I pay. I expected that. And then we discovered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and killed them in battle, as well as a couple of scouts. So that's all great, except here is what I had forgotten to account for. Remember those living mercuries I had? Remember how living mercuries have a poison aura around them? So I had not, the mage who was leading my living mercuries was not patrolling. But the mage who was leading my living mercuries was assassinated. And when he was assassinated, the living mercuries dropped back into the garrison. And then the living mercuries, who were in the garrison, automatically joined the patrollers. And they joined the patrollers unscripted. And when you join patrollers unscripted for battles, you end up in the middle of the battlefield. And living mercuries have a poison cloud effect. So, this happened. Watch. So there's the dryad. Remember, I had those guys scripted to be down at the very, very close edge of the screen on hold and attack rear. And instead, they are in the middle. The very middle, surrounded by my mages and my troops. And their poison cloud hits everyone around them. Everyone. These two don't even manage to move ever. And that happens. So, you can see here, I lost, this time, 5 mages, another commander, and 50 troops. This happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Overall, all told, I lost more than 200 troops and 10 mages. Half my army was killed by this. I'm angry. This is I'm just gonna come right out and say it. This is a stupid interaction of mechanics that should not have happened this way. And the thing that frustrates me most about it is that it's unstoppable. There's no way I could have predicted that, and there's no way I could prevent that from happening. Just having these in my army in this situation meant that there was a chance this was going to happen, and it's completely random, and there's no way to patrol out assassins before they attack. There's no way to remove them before they attack. So my patrolling, it can only work after they attack you and kill somebody. And so if they happen to kill the guy who's controlling a living mercury or more, then that living mercury just boop ends up unscripted in the middle of your formation and kills anyone around it with the poison cloud. So I just can't use these against Pangea, which is extremely frustrating. So yeah, that's just kind of how it is. So Jormunda here. Where's Jormunda? I thought I told her to do this, but apparently she didn't remember. Jormunda, where are you? Yeah, Jormunda here is leaving and taking the living mercuries with her because I can't use them. They're not usable in this context. beyond that, so now that I've lost half my freaking stack, including a bunch of mages, I can't really stop this in a fight. I don't think I can kill this easily. They may well be moving over towards Ulm. That's what I'm kind of afraid of. So what I'm doing is I'm moving these troops over to meet these troops, and get shacked up there. Then with these reinforcing mages and units, I think I can push down here and get some damage done. I need... That's a slave matrix. Do I have more communion matrices? Who has communion? I've got communion matrices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Yazi, give him some fire gems, and move him down here. Because I need to be casting flaming arrows. And what I'm hoping is that this army comes over here, attacks Ulm, my army gets lined up with this one, and we have a big fight about it. Because I think if I'm lucky, at least I'll be able to take that fight. That I've got a Centaur Hierophant over here, Black Harpy up there that I'm gonna have to push off. Pangea is winning this war at the moment, especially after that. That was a devastating blow. I've been talking with Is. I've been in negotiations with them to attack Pangea, and I've been in negotiations with Shinuyama, and Shinuyama should hopefully be attacking Pangea sometime real soon. But I just can't guarantee that I know when that will be. Like I said, they should be coming in soon, hopefully. And we'll see. So, that's the turn. Research-wise, I've hit Alteration level 9, so I can now cast Army of Lead, Army of Gold, and I intend to do so. That doesn't really solve my main problem, which is the Wailing Winds, but it gives me a little bit of something. It means that I can easily, between Army of Lead and Fog Warriors, I can easily make my army more or less invincible. Now, what I need is I need to hit enchantment level 7, and that will give me Serpent's Blessing, which will be great, and it will give me Relief, which will also be great, and hopefully that will help me out. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in turn 52. Where hopefully we won't accidentally murder our own armies due to stupid game mechanics interaction. I'm sorry, that still annoys me. Take care. Okay, folks, turn 52. So, Ashdod has gone AI. In fact, I believe that happened a turn or two ago, and I've just kind of forgotten to be taking advantage of it. So we're moving a commander over here to grab some troops and snake a province or two away from him. Nasajin also said he actually did have another Garnet Amazon province, which, okay, fair enough. Blood hunting, going pretty decently, moving a couple commanders back to keep ferrying the slaves away. So we're starting to build up a few blood slaves. You need to be researching, good sir. And you lot all need to be manifesting vitriol, please. Do that lots. Thank you. Manifest much vitriol. Great. Thank you, come again. Okay, so this army, interesting thing happened today. We hit a Centaur Hierophant, and unfortunately the Centaur Hierophant is a mage thug which had items, so he triggered gem use. So on the one hand I killed him, on the other hand I would have killed him anyway, and in the process of killing him I blew all my gems and actually killed a communion slave. So spammed out tons of bugs, spammed out elementals, I cast mist form and everything, and it just was really not necessary. On top of which I cast Army of Gold. So yeah, I made everyone stupidly blackly just to kill him, and I killed one of my communion slaves. So oops. But in any case, we got him. That Black Harpy was driven off. So Pangea moved up here instead of going after Ulm, which is fine. I'm breaking the siege of Ulm with a few dudes. This army right here I'm worried might come in, so I am breaking, including with Ba, who is spamming Creeping Doom. Really what I should do actually is I should break siege with everybody just in case. So we're breaking siege with him because he's leading troops, we're breaking siege with them, so everybody breaks siege. And then I'll need to script this communion real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4 communion slaves. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more guys. So let's make one more communion slave, and then... where's my saved script? That's my earthquake script. I don't need that. Alright, so I need communion master, and then, yeah, this will be fine for just gifts from heaven. Just drop gifts from heaven, and we'll give one of you a pair of pearls, and have you power of the spheres. So we've got earth power, we've got power of the spheres, we've got temper flesh. And you can be personal luck. Okay, that'll be fine. So that'll propagate to all the slaves and all these guys. I'm not really too worried about them, but we'll set them to fire, fire, hold an attack, fire, hold an attack, and hold an attack. And we'll scatter them out a little bit. So we got the archers back behind the mages, infantry kind of up front and to the flanks. That should be fine. And of course we've got Boss spamming out Creeping Doom. And with that Creeping Doom, that should help tie up. If these white centaurs come in, should tie them up. So that'll be fine. You know, up here, I've got a lot of archers, but nothing else really. It's time for me to stop recruiting entirely archers and get some infantry going as well. Let's do that. We've got our first adept of the Golden Order, so we've got some flame and arrows goodness going on, which will be useful. And yeah, things are going okay, just not fantastic. Definitely not fantastic. I've lost quite a bit of the territory that I took in my earlier wars. I need to reclaim it, and we'll kind of see how we do. So this army, I have it scripted with some of my mages are just unscripted because I don't care about them. She's scripted to cast Howl, but doesn't have the gems to do it because, as mentioned, I blew a whole bunch of gems. He's going to drop Flaming Arrows Heat from Hell, which will be an excellent combination. Let's put you on hold and attack, you on hold and fire. And we've also got Army of Gold, so all of my troops are going to have fire resistance, and hopefully his won't. The Army of Gold will also give me very high protection, and then Tianlong will be throwing some Maws of the Earth around. Down here, we're going to be casting an Earthquake. Earthquake clears out Maenads very, very effectively. The Centaurs, it won't hurt very much, but the Maenads will be hurt badly by an Earthquake. And so, now, here's the one problem. We don't have a Growing Fury, which we need. You're scripted to cast Howl. So what I need to do is I need to take a gem away. No, I need to take a gem away and give it to... Who is it that's casting Howl? Casting Growing Fury, I'm sorry, because Growing Fury takes one gem. So Yao needs that gem right there. So he can cast Growing Fury to berserk people so that we can, like, accomplish things. It has 200% cast time. My mages shouldn't go crazy just by themselves very quickly because they have high magic resistance, so it should be okay. But like I said, I have a lot of spells scripted right now that I'm not going to rescript because I'm lazy. That require gems, which I don't have. These ladies, a lot of them are just, and these guys are just moving out of the way. Yao, oh, no, I need Yao to be in here then. Yeah, Yao needs to Growing Fury. A lot of these ladies are just moving out of the way because they're not useful at the moment. And overall, we're doing okay. So, like I said, these guys all going to spam out a few, actually, I'm going to move them down here, have them spam out a few green lions near the front. And otherwise, we're just going to keep on trucking. We've got a few unallocated lanterns that I'm going to give to people to increase our abilities. There. And we've got some mages. We've got some people moving here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a couple endless bags of wine just to help maintain the army. Because with the nature mages moving away, this army, since it's smaller and has a lot of nature mages, it uses a lot fewer supplies. A couple of bags will ensure that that maintains very well. My problem right now is that I don't have a strong end game lined up. I don't have like a really big, powerful something going on. I don't have super powerful summons. I don't have any globals. It's turn 52, so it's getting actually pretty late in the game for me not to have any of that lined up. And that, in addition to the relative lack of territory, is one reason why I'm calling this a loss at this point. I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna go as far as I can, but right now, I have alteration level 9. I just don't have any anything really, really good lined up. Now, I could potentially, with the Adepts of the Golden Order, it's possible that I could manage to cast Eternal Pyre at some point. Also, didn't I have, yeah, if I put Earth Boots on you, then I can forge crystal coins. So let's have you forge a crystal coin. So I can start boosting Astral. So with the crystal coin, the Starshine Skullcap, I can boost up to Astral 4, which will be useful. To be honest, right at the moment, I don't have a thought in my head about why it will be useful, but I know it will be, so I'm going to do it. If nothing else, I might be able to drop it in Power, because I do have okay Astral Pearl income. And if I can get that Power going, then I can get the rings, and that will enable me to boost crazy, crazy high in a lot of different things. In addition, one thing that might work out is Yao Shi. If I can get the air boosters of some kind, then Yao Shi might be able to forge Staves of Elemental Mastery to boost me up. So anyway, I should have been working on boosting very intensely a lot earlier in the game, because one thing that I didn't... I mean, I mainly play nations with powerful single mages or thugs, and middle-aged Tianqi has neither of those. But so what I didn't realize I needed to focus on so intensely, and that I should have been focusing on earlier, was the fact that these guys need a lot of boosting. They're very, very flexible, they're very useful in a lot of ways, but they need boosting in order to get up to the high levels where they can cast high-level rituals. In battle, they can communion, and they're fine. But for rituals, they need help. So I should have been focusing on that earlier, and I wasn't, which was entirely my bad. And now I'm in kind of this position where I'm like I'm still a player in the game, but I am small compared to the big players. Like Bandar Log owns a big grip of territory all the way over here to Ashdod. Like a whole bunch of this is Bandar Log back here. Satis, don't know how big Satis is. Satis has seemed at different times to possibly be in trouble, but he's got a decent grip of territory. Shinuyama, staying alive. Shinuyama's probably about my size. Pangea is huge. Pangea is the evil empire at this point, and we've got to stop them. Excuse me. So, and also Jotunheim is here. You know, Jotunheim. So, yeah. My plan right now, these guys are just... I'm not going to set them to patrol, actually. I'm going to set them to defend, because I want to hold this palisade. I mean, they won't be able to hold it. They're going to bust the walls down, but I don't want them killed in the process, because what I'm thinking is going to happen here is this army is going to move to try and take Swamp of Solitude. They've been trying to keep me off Swamp of Solitude the whole time. So they're going to try to move to take Swamp of Solitude. I'm going to be able to get my army to hit them in a big ol' stack fight again. If I can pull off the Growing Fury, then that stack fight might not happen the way they think it will happen, or the way they want it to happen. But actually, these guys can probably stay. No. And Jormungand can just research, because there's no way these guys are going to be useful at all. So, we will see what happens. And I've got a whole bunch of troops, 8 lions, about 80 other troops moving into Betaine. And I think I can do some good. I think I can accomplish something here. So, that'll be the turn for now, and I'll see you all in turn 53. Okay, folks, turn 53. We are a little bit on the ropes. That giant Pangean stack faked me out. I didn't think they could reach Ulm from here, going through this province, but they could. So, Ulm is under siege and broken, and they're about to take it. My stack is pursuing, but probably not gonna fare well against the Wailing Winds. So we do have Flaming Arrows, Heat from Hell. We've got Army of Gold, Maws of the Earth. We've got an Earthquake going off a little bit later, so as long as Xiao Lao stays on the field until the Earthquake goes off, we will do a lot of damage. We've got Howl, and we've got Growing Fury. So Growing Fury might be the thing that lets us do this. And Yao needs, of course, more Nature Gems, just to be sure. So I'm going to give him one more there. So the Growing Fury could potentially work if, and this is important, if it happens when we actually fight the battle, if we don't blow all our gems before then. So, what I need here is I need somebody who can reach that province carrying a bunch of gems, and that person is Ba. So we're going to give Ba 10 nature gems, and she's going to sneak out of the castle to Troya. And we're also actually Actually, we're also going to give her a bunch of... I only just realized that this was possible. We're going to give her a bunch of all kinds of gems. 30 gems in total. We had given... Who was it? We gave somebody else a bunch of gems. We gave Lu Tungpin a bunch of gems, but Lu Tungpin does not need to carry a bunch of gems because we've got Bao carrying a bunch of gems. Or Ba, sorry. So, Ba, gonna sneak over here. They're going to storm Ulm, and they're going to take it. There's no way I can stop this army. We can look at the battle in Ulm, where the army faked me out and came back to hit us. And I was breaking out with Ba the Huijing and a couple of other mages, just leading a bunch of troops to try and break the siege, because I thought we were about to have a big battle somewhere else. And they faked me out, like I said. They are casting... They've got the Wailing Winds, of course. They've got Howl, they've got Swarm, they've got Creeping Doom. They've also got Serpent's Blessing. So just to be safe, they're dropping a whole bunch of poison resistance on their troops, which is fair. That's reasonable. Our archers did a bunch of damage. The animations here are actually causing the game to lag, because Dominions 5 is not very optimized. But they basically ran over us with all of their troops, so we just didn't have the numbers there to do it. We killed about 70 Maenads, but those are, once again, free spawn, so that's not much of a win. And we only killed one White Centaur. My goal here is to activate the Heat from Hell, have the Growing Fury, to have all of my troops stay, or as many of my troops as possible, stay on the battlefield. And as long as my troops and mages, particularly the mages who have cast these spells, stay on the battlefield, then we can basically clog them up and use the Heat from Hell to burn the Maenads to death, and hopefully burn the mages to death, especially because their mages are nature mages, and so they'll go off script if the battle lasts long enough, and when they go off script, they will really strongly tend to cast Barkskin on themselves. And if you cast Barkskin on yourself under Heat from Hell, you light on fire and you burn to death. So that's the goal. The goal is to grind the battle out long enough that the Heat from Hell can work. Now, we'll see if that's actually practical, but like I said, it depends on me not blowing all of my gems, or having replacement gems when I blow all my gems in Troya. I anticipate he's going to try to gem bait me here. If he does, we're just going to have to kind of try to grind through it. And we've got a whole bunch more troops moving down, because I do have a lot of troops. That is one thing I'd have. Down here, Shinuyama is beginning to attack Pangaea, and I've been told that Is is attacking Pangaea somewhere over here. Now, in the two woods, I lost my scout to a bunch of pandemoniacs. And Pangaea is definitely doing blood in, like, a pretty big way. Middle-aged Pangaea actually, I think, has the most blood. Late-age might have as much blood, but the pandemoniacs that middle-aged Pangaea can recruit are pretty good blood mages. So as you can see, this army, they've got a number of Demon Knights summoned. So Demon Knights are an Earth Blood summon, and that's, like, rough. Pandemoniacs can random Earth, and then they can have an Earth Stone, or a Bloodstone and or Earth Boots, which Pangaea can do. So yeah, they can summon Blood Knights. I can't imagine they're mass-producing Blood Knights, but hopefully not. Up here, I was planning to go take a couple of provinces off Ashdod. Jotunheim got there first. That's fine. I'm going to leave Jotunheim to it. I'm not too worried about them right now. I should be. They're worrisome, but I can't worry about them right now. I have bigger problems. Infiltrate Shinuyama, please. And I'm summoning some skeletal horsemen over here. I actually need Eulalia to move towards the front. So, yeah, I need her to hop over there to summon more skeletal horsemen. They have map move 23. She has map move 16. So, yeah, we can give them all to her. And we'll hop along Cassidy right over to Betaine and start spamming out long dead horsemen there. Now, I've also got these guys, the two with water 2. I really wish I had more water gems, because my water gem income is not good, despite having site searched most places for water. Why don't you search for water there? I Voice of Apsu pretty much every province I own, except for this one here. Actually, tell you what, why don't you search for magic sites real quick? and I'm not finding any. So I just don't have, I just don't have the gems to do the things that I want to do. Which is, a lot of not only Manifest Vitriol, but also Vile Water. Vile Water is a spell that summons a gelatinous cube. Gelatinous cubes are just size 6 tramplers. That's the entirety of their shtick, is that they're big and they trample. And normally they're not all that great because they can't, they don't have any armor, so they're very, very easy to kill. But At this point, I have Army of Gold active, which gives you 20 nat prod. So gelatinous cubes under Army of Gold are really, really good. And I can also add mass regeneration if I really am inclined. And so that would make them extremely powerful. So spamming out a whole bunch of those would be great. The downside is they cost 4 water gems each, and of course my green lions cost 2 water gems each, of which I'm summoning 3 per turn. And my water gem income is only 4. So can't really lean too heavily on those summons just because I don't have the gems. I don't have the capability to use them. So we'll see. I'm still trying to hold Pangea off while Shinoyama and Is come in to do damage, and we'll see how well it goes. But that's basically the turn this time. Holding up here, upgrading that fortress for 1 more turn. Wang Lao can actually just get out of here. I'm patrolling down here and blood hunting Pinofia about as aggressively as I can. I'm probably going to add 1 more Garnet Sorceress. And then I will hopefully build up the Blood Slaves to start empowering people and break into blood in kind of a very minor way. It's late in the game to be just now breaking into blood, though, so probably the best I'm going to do is get some Bloodstones out of it and use those on my Earth Mages to push me up to Earth 3 on an Earth 1, which still isn't super impressive, but it will at least help in some ways. I am up to Astral 4. I need to be up to Astral 6, which not really going to be able to achieve, I don't think. Because I've got both the base Astral upgrades on him. But he does have 70 magic leadership, and now he can cast a Gateway. So if necessary, I could pile a bunch of magical creatures, a bunch of summons on Yao Shi, and Gateway him in to rescue somebody, to save somebody's bacon. But we'll see how well it all works. In any case, that's turn 53, and we'll see you in turn 54. Alright folks, this is turn 54, and full disclosure, I did this turn in a huge rush when I realized that I was about to stale. So, not a lot actually got done. We were researching up to Blood 4, and I didn't change any research priorities, so after that, it would have hopped back to Conjuration. Basically the only thing I really did in the 5 minutes that I had available was, I moved all these troops down here, and I set all these guys to patrol in case I was being attacked by Dryads. I was waiting to gather my forces for 1 turn, and then I was going to go and attack Ulm, which would be fun. Would, I think, be fun. Lutung Pin was still defending over here with a bunch of dudes. He's got just sort of this odd random assortment of items that Bloodthorn should actually be taken away. He's got the Star of Thraldom, which is kind of cool. Helmet of Champions, Chainmail of Displacement. His defense skill is still not great. And the Star of Thraldom is not a very good weapon. I am going to kind of thug Lutung Pin out just because he's cool, and I want to. For now, I'm going to have him research. Well, there's no point, because like I said, this was late, and this was just stuff I forgot in my my speedy panic. Moving Blood Slaves back to Tianchi. Commanders back down to Pinofia, which I am patrolling the hell out of as well, I'm not actually patrolling the hell out of it right now, but I'm blood hunting pretty heavily. And yeah, that was about it. My goal was to force this big stack fight between myself and Pangea, which hopefully I would win based on my possession of many gems, and I scripted out some other buffs, so I've got Fog Warriors going on, I've got Growing Fury, which is the key one, I've got Army of Lead, and Army of Gold, I've got Heat from Hell, and I've got an Earthquake or 2, all going off in order to try to wipe out their chaff after my chaff was well protected. So in the next turn, we'll see how well all of that went. And this may be my shortest turn report to date. So thank you for being here for this momentous occasion. I'll see you in the next turn.